you.
All right, we have Robert Drysdale here at his school in Las Vegas. Uh, First of all, I'd like you to please describe to me, what your job responsibilities are as a manager, as a coach. Just in general, what are your main things?
Well, there's a lot to be done. I teach class, I train. I'm still in the middle of my career. I'm not just a coach, but I end up coaching a lot. So I got pro fighters I have to take care of. I have my students I have to take care of. I have myself to train, and then on top of that, I don't manage the gym by myself, but I do a lot of it. So there's absolutely a lot to be done. I deal basically with like delegation of tasks. Like I'll tell people what to do. If I try to do everything myself, I'll go out of my mind. And I've tried doing that before. It does not work. So I figure the best thing for a leader to do is just be finding the right person for the right job. So certain people are good at marketing. Others are good at sitting at the front desk and signing people up. And I'll just kind of put the pieces into place, and hopefully everything works.
That's great. How would you describe your personal management style?
I'm pretty objective when it comes to managing. Like I don't like if I call someone up and it's related to business, I don't want to ask about how they're doing or how they're feeling. I just get straight to business, and I want the conversation to end as quick as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very, very objective. I'm a very busy person, so I don't have time to be bullshitting with people. Like every now and then an old friend will call me. I can be a friend still, but if it's related to business, I'm like on it. Like my emails are short, quick, get straight to business. Same thing with my personality. I'm very, very objective when it comes to that.
All right, great. Would you describe your management style as more management of the people, for the people, with the people, or by the people?
I do consider myself to be democratic. That's what you're asking. But I think that when it comes to managing, a lot of times you have to you have to figure out what your priorities are.
Mm-hmm.
And I faced myself with the decision. What kind of leader am I going to be? Am I going to be the nice guy that's always hooking people up, which is what I have been most of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And reality is like there's a thin line between being a good friend and being a good person in general and being a good businessman. And it's very hard to be both.
Definitely.
It's very, very difficult to be both. And I've been faced with that decision a number of times where, are you going to let the kid train for free? Well, the kid can't pay.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't pay. Yeah, train for free. Next thing you know, you got 30 people on the mat training for free. You got 10 paying.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not a charity, and that's what I've done most of my life. So now I'm trying to find that happy balance where, listen, I like you, I want you to come train at my place, but it doesn't mean you can train for free. It's a business.
Definitely.
I'm always hooking people up, but no one's hooking me up by paying my rent.
Yeah.
No one's paying my rent. So I have to be a little more, and I've changed the last year or so. I've been a lot more tougher as far as that. I'm not. I have friends that might walk in like, hey, bro, I can't pay this. I'm like, man, I really like you, but I'm sorry, you can't. It's a business, I'm not.
It goes both ways.
Because the thing is, most people will abuse it. If you give them a hand, they'll take an arm, so you let them train for free for a couple months. Next thing you know, they'll train for free for a whole year, and they won't. They may be making money, but they're not going to tell you because you're already, you open the door for them.
Yeah,
so a lot of people will abuse that. And there's just one example, I manage a gym with my best friend, and we get along off the mat, off the business, we best friends. But, a lot of times when you're running a business, it's impossible for two people to agree on everything. So there's a lot of
headwind.
Yeah, and there are collisions. There's no way out of it. And we don't always agree on everything, but like I said, you have to find that happy middle where the business is also helping there's a business side, but there's also the human side, and reconcile them both.
Yeah. So would you consider that to be the most difficult part about your job? Is just balancing?
Absolutely. If I were a brutal businessman, I'd probably make things more profitable and the business more successful.
Yeah.
But I deal with people here. I don't deal with machine. I deal with human beings. It's a whole different story. You develop a relationship with these people.
Yeah.
So they have to like you. I like them. I want them to come here. So it's it gets complicated because you get people and then you put money in the equation and things get really complicated.
Yeah, definitely. So would you consider you and everyone that trains here, your team, so to say, would you consider more of a family or more business oriented?
Throughout I've been involved in teaching and managing gyms for a while now. I own a gym in Brazil, and the market's very different over there. But over there, it was pretty much a charity. I'm just hooking people up the whole time. I never made any money. Over here, I promised myself that I would see things from a different perspective, and they have been. It's been quite different. I'm still somewhere in between. I'm not as brutal as I probably could be. Like, I'd probably be far more successful if I were that guy where I'm just like constantly, aiming towards profit.
Yeah.
But it's not my personality to be that guy. So I'm happy to be somewhere in between.
That's good. Awesome. All right. What would you say are the 5 most important attributes of being a manager?
Communication. Communication. This goes for every kind of relationship. I've learned this the hard way. You have to be able to communicate with people you're dealing with. You cannot have any kind of enterprise without clear communication. If there's something you're unhappy about, you have to tell your employee, your boss, or your business partner, or whoever it is that you're dealing with. You have to tell them why you're unhappy. And clear communication solves a lot of problems. And I noticed that a lot of times, because we don't actually express what we're feeling, things build up, and then that's when problems are.
Yeah.
You have, a little group of people over here, and a little group of people and they're in the same team, so to speak, but they're constantly clashing because they don't communicate. Organization is another key element. It's very, very important. I can be very organized with certain things. With others, I'm not. So I'll try to delegate the things that I'm not organized with to other people who are. And that's a very important. Another important aspect is delegating tasks. Certain people are brilliant with computers. They're incredible with Facebook and Twitter and all the social media stuff. But if you put them at the front desk to sign people up, they're white belts. They're really bad, and vice versa. So you got to find okay, this guy's got this kind of personality. This is what he likes to do. This is what he's good at. This is what you're going to be doing. And if you know the people who you're delegating the tasks, it helps a lot because you know what kind of person that person is. So that helps a lot. Just knowing your employees and the team you're working with.
Yeah.
And just like I said, delegate. I think those are the 3 most important things: communication, organization, and delegation of tasks.
Definitely. All right. What have you learned from being a manager, overall so far?
I've learned a lot about myself, and going back to where we started, it's something I deal with personally a lot, is being able to be that mediator between, what do I want, what's my priority, just making this a family environment and having people come in here and be happy and just chill, and it's a happy environment, or do I want to make this a profitable business? And it's very hard to find that
happy medium.
Yeah. So that's the thing I struggle with the most, and that's probably the thing that I've learned the most about myself, is that although of course I want to make money and I have to, we live in a world where you don't make money, you're not going to live, basically. Yeah. But I'm not willing to be that guy. I'm not willing to be that guy that's gonna all profit all the time. I prefer to make less and be be a likable person. I want my students to like me. I want my employees to like me. So that's what I've learned.
That's great. So do you consider there to be a difference between being a manager and a leader?
I'd say so. I think you could probably be both. I think I've gotten to the point where I've gotten people to respect me, and love me. So my students like me, my employees like me. But I don't let them take advantage of me. There's a line there, and I've made it clear, you can joke around with me, you can play with me, we can do a number, we can hang out, whatever. But as long as you understand that I'm your boss, and you have to get the things that I ask you to do, they have to be done. If they're not done, I'm going to sit down, and then the communication comes in. Listen, we can be friends, but you are not doing your job, and I like you, and we can remain friends. But if you don't do your job, I'm going to fire you. And sometimes you have to be that guy. Yeah. And they have to understand there's a line there. I have a number of people that I'm very close friends to. I love them to death, but I would not work with them. I would refuse to do business with them because I know how they are. Look, I like you. You're one of my best friends, but I will not work with you. And then when you discover this about yourself, and things are a lot easier, So like I said, a number of people that I just refuse to do business with, and that seems to help when you understand that.
All right. What is the one way that you motivate your employees, and how would you typically reward them for doing a good job?
I give them bonuses. Everyone likes money.
Yeah.
Everyone likes money. I give. For example, I'm trying to come up with a DVD set now, and have one of my guys working on organizing it, and I said, look, bro, I'm gonna pay by the hour to get this done. If it doesn't sell, I'm not going to give you anything, because I'm not going to pull money out of my own pocket to help you out. But if it does well and it sells, I'll gladly give you a cut. That kind of motivates them to work a little bit harder. If I have a front desk person, I'll give them a little percentage of whatever. So I'll do something okay, up to 15 people you sign up, That's your job. 15 is the minimum. Anything